Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going over the mid laners from 2024. More specifically, how the teams approach the mid lane in terms of share and how the mid laner handled that gold share and dealt damage in two different stats that I formed. So here we have the share difference. It's damage share subtracted by gold share. So how much more damage did a player give to the team, the 100% damage pie, if you will, compared to the 100% gold pie? Like, how much more did they give? And how much, did they not? In mid lane being a carry oriented role, more often than not, unlike top and in jungle, historically, we expect all the mid laners to be in a good spot. And now over here we have return on investment, which is simply damage divided by gold. And there is a possibility a player could be really good over here, and not necessarily. I think players will end up. There are players that can appear on this list that are not on that list because their team deals a lot of damage, and that's kind of the deal. So, Jackie's, you see 10% there, and then the next highest is 6.48. Due to Ignar being very low in the support role when it came to damage output, and you say, yeah, but it's the support role. No, he was significantly lower than everyone else. You have the Antonio in top lane. Juhan was clearly last in yesterday's video. Jackie's dealt a ton of damage, 32% or something of the team's damage. A very bright future, excuse me. He has the potential to be picked up by another team for sure and go to Worlds. He seems like he has a very bright future. Then after that, we have a few interesting teams. So DRX, definitely not a great team, but Kiahu and Saytab, a lot of damage. Immortals Mask, 100 Thieves, Quid, Fnatic, Humanoid, and Team Wee Fofo. So out of those 5 teams, 100 Thieves and Fnatic are still alive, but the other 3 are clearly not, and Giant X clearly weren't, so it's something to think about that these mid laners that dealt so much more damage than their share indicated, their teams struggled. KT, TL, so BDD, APA, FlyQuest Quad, and Rare Adam Vikla finish it out. But see the massive gap here, 10% to 6.5. I mean, that's huge. Now, on the lower end of things, we have BLG Knight, and that's not to say Knight played poorly. That just means he dealt a relatively same damage to the gold share he had. And if everybody had a decent ROI, then his is going to be as well. IG Nenny, very low damage. G2, so Caps, relative to the gold he's receiving, not a lot of damage in the share department. Vitality, pretty much even for Vethiel. Thunder Talk UCal, and Frescowie for Mad Lions Koi, both actually were negative. And we're just going to mention this. Mad did go to Worlds. I did say that they would not go to Worlds. I had them 10th going into the season, and they went to Worlds. So that's a thing. I guess it was an inaccurate prediction of how that split would go. I mean, their high was in winter. I still think their high may have been in winter, but they won one best of 5 in season finals, and that's enough to get the job done. The LEC format is definitely questionable, as is not as much as the LPL, but is questionable nonetheless. But how it relates to Frescowie, of course, it's his team, but also I think Fres may be the worst mid to represent one of the 4 major regions at Worlds in a very long time. Now, return on investment, damage divided by gold. Who dealt the most damage? Well, APA of Team Liquid, 1.85, followed by Quid and Jackie's. So you see, Jackie's is not quite, well, he's towards the top, but APA makes that up. 100 Thieves, Quid makes it up because those 2 teams dealt so much damage as a group that the shares weren't as crazy different, but they are just as high as Jackie. And then you have Rookie of NIP, and we've seen NIP's players show up time and time again because their team dealt a lot of damage. Immortals Mask and KTBDD. And you may wonder, why are there only 6 teams listed? Because there's like a dozen players that fall in the 1.6 category, so it's not much of an outlier. That's where a lot of players sit. lower end of things. A lot of LEC and LPL representation. So, Ultra Prime Yukai, IG Neni, Weibo Zhaohu, Rogue Larson, BDS Nuke, Thunder Talk UCal, and Carmine Corp Vladi all were in the 1.3 range to 1.4. Then Vitality Bethio 1.25 and Mad Lions Koi Frescawi 1.17. So those players not dealing a lot of damage for their teams, and a lot of LEC players listed. Do keep in mind this is only the 9-game regular season split. I did not include their 8-game section of the summer season, 8-team section. So that is a thing. But either way, we see some of the same teams appearing over here, but Rookie kind of coming up into it because Nip's team just deals a lot of damage, so that's going to happen. And you see a team like DRX drop out because they're not dealing a lot of damage, really. So, because they struggled. So that's not a big shock either. So, yeah. This is the video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.